Well, it's been a very strange spell off camera with Viborg in recent weeks. I'm sure you can see some of those moments dotted about on the screen. But before we go, a quick service announcement. Those of you that were here last time will know that we got knocked out of Champions League qualifying with Viborg. But at the other end of the spectrum, 166 episodes in, we had our Champions League final with Hemel Hempstead yesterday. How did it go? If you don't already know, the link is in the eye above. But for now, the focus is firmly on Viborg, and as you might be able to see, we're virtually guaranteed European football. Let's go and see why. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 29 of Rebuilding Viborg with me, Daniel. We are back today for the second leg of our Europa League qualifier, one that we needed to win to guarantee group stage football in either the Europa League or Europa Conference. And my word, are we doing that in style. A 7-0 win in the first leg against Ferencvaros. That's certainly going to be interesting viewing. We also got a great result against Copenhagen, so today's game against Brondby is even more important. Copenhagen rested loads of players for their game. We've won one and lost one against the other European sides. Which end of it are we going to come out on today? If you're looking forward to finding out and you are enjoying the save, then please do chuck a thumbs up on it. Subscribe for daily FM22 videos. There's links in the eye above to all the other playlists, including that Hemel episode I mentioned and the Twitch channel, which is going absolutely nuts at the minute. You can also find links in the description below to all the other platforms and ways to support the channel. But let's get straight into this because we've got transfer news, we've got two big games, and we've got a real chance at glory and European group stages. So let's have a look at the schedule first and foremost to see what's been going on since you were last with me. Two games, good results, one of them excellent and one of them absolutely crucial. So you were with me for a triple header that started well and finished in devastation last time out. I'm sure you enjoyed it. I'm sure there's been some fun comments on it. But since then, the lads have responded pretty well. Copenhagen rested everyone ahead of their European qualifier. We just edged them by 1-0. Ironically, Toxvar gave the ball away for it, though it was still heartbreaking to see him on the opposing team. Tobias Beck with the early second half goal, and a really good victory for us in that one. We followed it up with the most important result of the series. We had to get a win after that Champions League disappointment to guarantee European group stages. And my God, did we turn up and put on a show. 7-0, including 2 in the 90th minute. Tobias Beck with one, Ivan Mesic is first for the club, a David Palmer hat-trick, a Hayden Carter goal, and a Jurchen Rothman stoppage time one. 7-0, and now we've got a benefit domestically as well, because we can play the first team today, or what's fit of it, against Brondby, and not have to worry if they can't feature on Thursday, because we can't lose 7-0 even with our reserves to Ferencvaros. So that hopefully gives us a benefit in the league. And then of course we just wait to see who we face in the next round. Will it be the Europa League group stages or will it be the Europa Conference? We'll find that one out in the next episode. For now, it's all about Brondby via the transfer screen, because we have had some disappointment in the last couple of weeks, and that is missed targets that have chosen to go elsewhere, and lots of offers for Sampaio, which are becoming a bit of a problem. He has got offers that are ranging past $1 million now, which doesn't sound like a lot for the talent, but don't forget we got him for 40 grand last summer. He is in the final year of his contract. He won't sign a new deal without a release clause of 2-point-something million. So basically my thoughts here, if we get to 3 million with a sell-on clause, I'll let him go. If not, we'll play him till January and we'll take the punt, and then we'll lose him for 2.2 the next year. It's one of those things, isn't it? In terms of ins though, we haven't got anything ongoing. The wage budget is a little bit stretched, and we've missed out on the other key target we had for the summer. I will go and show you him very quickly, just so you can see what we've lost out on, because it would have been another centre-half solution with Bukima leaving in the summer and Mesic not quite cutting the mustard every week. And that man is Frederick Winther. He's chosen to go to Roda JC instead. I don't blame him. They've offered more money. They've offered a similar squad role. And he's a player who's looking to get into the Danish setup. He's a good defender. He's naturally left-sided. 3-star ability, can cover left-back too. But it wasn't to be. So we're going to be relying on a few youngsters. My aim before the end of the window basically is to get in one more midfielder. Whether it's a loan, whether it's a permanent. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it though. Because most of the targets I want, They're out of contract at the end of the year, but they won't discuss terms till nearer the end of their deal. So I feel like we might have to wait till January to get in the ones we really want. If I go to the scouting centre and show you exactly who I mean by that, we go to our scouted players and we've got the ones that are out in 6 months. So to show you some of them as an example, going forward, Patrick Bahui, he is a really quality player. Good centre forward, gets in behind, possibly a replacement for Sampaio at 22, scoring goals in the second tier, performing really well, but won't discuss terms at the moment, and worryingly, is wanted by some very good clubs. Rennes, Freiburg, I mean, we're talking big leagues here. Could be tricky to get him in. Similar story for Emil Breivik. He is at Bodo Glimt, the well-renowned side for their recent exploits in real life. Quality midfielder, versatile player. Reminds me a bit of Greg Halford for the old FM fans in terms of positions and attributes. But again, we're in a position where we probably can't get him because there's big clubs that want him. He wants a huge wage and he's got clubs locally that want him. So might be a little bit tricky yet again. And then the third one is young Guillermo Thomas. More of one for the future, but a position we need and someone who could contribute. Great personality, latest one off the Lyngby conveyor belt. But again, won't discuss terms. Lyngby still want £1 million. I'm not sure we're going to get him. Loads of big clubs want him too. Club Brugge, Feyenoord, PSV. Gives you a measure of what potential he has. If we could even get one of those three, I'd probably be delighted in the winter. And if it could be one of the two midfielders, then great. Probably not going to happen. We're going to end up with our D, E or F target. But we're still going to try our best to get one. Maybe we have to get a loan in the short term. So frustration on the transfer front is not quite happening for us at the minute. But let's get straight into the first fixture against Brondby. Because if we win this one as well, the title race could be back on, despite that disappointment with Midtjylland. 10 points for Randers, 8 for Nordsjælland and Midtjylland. Copenhagen struggled a little bit so far. But all of us, including Brondby, in European qualifiers, we're trying to fly the flag for the nation. So let's get through the tactical meeting. See the team we can put out today. It's going to be as strong as it possibly can. Having played on Thursday night, might not be as strong as we'd like. Back in a minute to run through it. Well, I think I've got to take that statement back. Everyone's fit. They've got a heavy match load, but they can all have Thursday off. We're not going to worry about it. We're 7-0 up. The backup team will get some football. This is the benefit of a great European performance and those extra couple of late goals. It means we can play Lerche in goal and Yembi and Real the fullbacks with Messick and Carter as centre-half. Witt, Harbo and Canel the midfield trio. Luca Canel had his first great game in the last one in the Europa League. Parma, fresh off the back of his hat-trick alongside Beck and Sampaio in the front three. Quality on the bench throughout. It's a really good squad. But can it deliver again today? Let's go and face Brondby and find out. Well, Niels Fredriksson's side has come out strong for this one. 4 changes. Radicevic not a regular, but again, a bit of rotation for European football. I wonder how the other 3 sides get on in qualifying, because so far, it's been pretty good for Danish football. Let's get through the dressing room though, because we've got a big job to do here. It's all nice being sentimental about European performances. We'd firmly like to batter Brondby today. So let's tell the lads to pick up where they left on Thursday night. And hopefully, even though there's a bit of a heavy match load, the momentum of that performance can take us through. To the first half, Viborg not sold out this time, but not far from it. Big crowds around the corner. Let's see if we can deliver and play up to them. We're just 4 minutes on the clock and we're back with a corner kick. Luca Canel into Ivan Messick. 2 of the new boys this summer combine. And that sort of goal makes me feel a lot better. One, because we've not lost the set piece threat despite other people going. But more importantly, because we know the new signings are right. And Luca Canel, the channel hero, he's back to deliver again. There's a goal kick taken long from Brondby. All the way towards the centre forwards. Messick wins it and Canel gets in with a sliding challenge. But it still falls for them. Long ball through, intercepted by Anyembi. Harbo plays a nice 1-2 with Carter and Lerche clears downfield. Sampaio's up, knocks down for Parma. Takes on his man, he's got the pace. But he hasn't quite got the finish. 3 goals in the week, he might be getting greedy. But with 20 gone, been a brilliant performance so far. Well, here come the knocks. Daniel Anyembi is the first to fall, as is so often the case injury-wise. Just want to see, because I think it's going to have to be Schroeder to come on, whether he or the left-back Real are the best on their right-hand side. Probably Real. So he's going to go over to right-back, and at left-back we'll bring on Jan Schroeder. Was first choice last year, we know he's solid. So let's get back into it and hope we can hold on. And at half-time, it stays the same. Brondby starting to catch up on the shots, but We're still hopeful we can get the win here. Of course, they put us out in the Danish Cup last year. They made the title hard for us with a comeback in one of the later league games. But at the moment, we're putting them to the sword, despite a few pretty average performances. As we're back 5 minutes in the second half with Palmer on the right, carrying it forward and inside to Harbo. Back to Palmer again. Chance to take on his man, but goes back to Real, the right back. Long ball forward towards Flavio Sampaio. Rounds the keeper. But a brilliant challenge from Moretti. Throws himself in to stop the tap-in. And the empty net does not bulge. It's out for a corner. As Cannell puts it into the back post. Carter can't win it. Bell clears away. But the pressure's still on Brondby. We're definitely the better side. There's a couple of players not quite up to it. So subs might not be far away. Right, we've got to listen to fitness now because Beck's struggling, Harbo's really struggling, and those two aren't playing that well either. So we're going to take off Beck. He'll be replaced by Jurchin Rothman. On the other side, it will soon be Park for Palmer, but not just yet. I'm going to take off Harbo. He'll be replaced by Jakobsen in the middle. He will stay as box-to-box, and we'll put Cannell as the centre midfielder. Well, 70 on the clock. Our decision on Palmer is easy. We then have one of two choices. So Palmer off for Park. He is a quality young striker. Do we take off Sampaio for Blaham? Or do we take off Vitt for Carlson? Now, Blaham's the younger player. Great for him to get experience. But realistically, if we're trying to win the game, Carlson's probably the better option. So to make that decision a bit easier, I'm going to give it 4 or 5 more minutes. As we're back with Carter, just under 20 to go. Luca Canganel goes wide to the right. Real surging forward. It's actually played well on his unnatural side here. Gives it to Sampaio. He's got one in the middle. Rothman supporting at the back post too. Hits the post, hits the keeper's head. Unfortunately for them, bounces away. It could have been so much worse for Brondby. But we've been in this position before. We've been ahead against them and thrown it away. As Cannell cuts in on his left. Oh, almost his big moment. What a start that would have been for him. 18 to go. I'm going to make the final change. And it is going to be Flavio Sampaio. Because if he gets injured, we lose out more. So he comes off. Blaham comes on. Oh, we don't have any more sub breaks. Did I make them in more than 2? Oh, because Schroeder wasn't half time, was it? I thought he'd come off at the break. What a stupid man. There you go. Track your substitutions when you're in a league with 5. Because you might get caught out as Cannell puts a free kick in. Straight at burn at the keeper. He holds it well, and now we got 15 to hold on, loads of tired legs, and a fresh sub that we can't use, as Carrillo gets it left side of the box. Back to Vido. They scored a screamer against us last time. What happens this year? Back to Radicevic. Wide to the right-hand side. There's 4 in the box. So a lovely little back heel. Jules Saga is crossed in again. Vido's up. Good header. Hits the woodwork. Schroeder will get it clear. But we are now starting to cling on. Brondby coming on strong as always. We still haven't got those legs and squad depth on the top 3 or 4 sides. And that's the difference. Despite winning the title, we're now playing 2 games a week. As it is though, we're 1-0 up. We are clinging on for the victory. And with 2 minutes plus stoppage time, we've got a welcome corner that Cannell puts into Messick. Oh, almost a repeat of the early goal. Headed over the bar. We're into stoppage time. And we've got another corner with Cannell. Savers having to put on the time wasting. Yes, you do. Ivan Messick scores his second. Cannell delivers the second perfect corner. What a way to win it. 2 new signings combining perfectly. And they've done so for both goals here. Viborg 2, Brondby 0. Maybe slightly harsh on the visitors. But it looks like we are going to get the win. And a crucial one at that. As Schroeder heads the ball away forward. Rothman picks it up on the left. Back to Messick. Who would have thought he'd be the match winner today? Inside to Vitt and Jakobsen. Long ball to Sampaio. Brondby now chasing the game and they're all over the place at the back. But Bernat recovers, makes a brilliant save. And Vido brings it away on the left. 3 minutes of stoppage time up. It's 2-0 to Viborg. And that is the perfect way to prepare for a second leg trip to Hungary. The reserves will play in that one. These boys get a well-earned rest. With guaranteed European group stage football. And we're guaranteeing our place in the title race. This is not a bad start to the season at all. Fitness test time ahead of what should be a formality in Hungary with a 7-0 aggregate lead. Hopefully there's no slip-ups from here and then we find out who we get in the playoff and what European competition we're likely to be in. But before that, just below my head, you may be able to see that there's a signing confirmed. They've not come in yet. It's our 1st January signing in the middle of August because we have agreed a pre-agreement deal with Tobias Sagstuen Andersen. 2.8 grand a week, starting from the 5th of January. Annoyingly, we can't buy him now because he's currently in the middle of a loan. But he comes in from Rosenborg. He's a quality young centre-half. He's 22, will be when he joins as well. He's fairly professional. And if you look at where Mezik's goals came from at the weekend, look at this lad. 6'4", 18 jumping reach, natural in the holding role as well. We've got a real quality player. So to get a youngster for free who can improve again, we're all about making profit with our transfers, and I believe we'll do that with him. Decent enough to play on the ball at the back as well. So really good addition. We do still need that one more loan player this window, but we probably have to wait till deadline day for that. For now, let's go and get to the fixtures. Let's go and face Ferencvaros. A win here or getting through on a tie on aggregate virtually guarantees that 2.5 million for at least being in the conference group stages. So let's get through the tactical meeting. Let's see how we get on. Let's see how the other Danish sides get on. They've got Jack Rolls in their team. I didn't notice that last week. Currently at Woking in real life, who we may be doing our Twitch save with in FM23, so we might get to see a bit more of him. But a decent player, a decent squad, but a tiny crowd in, and they know they've got no hope. So let's go and rotate our side as much as possible, and we'll be back in a minute to run through it. Well, when you look at the rotated side like this, you can clearly see that we just need one more midfielder, because Luca Cannell has to play today. The rest of the side is rotated. It means we've got a team of Behrens in goal for the first time this year. Schroeder and Burr the fullbacks, with Carlson and Mulgaard as centre-half. Winther, Cannell and Jacobson the midfield three. Blaham, Rothman and Park the front three. We've got a youngster on the bench, so if it's really comfortable, we can give Cannell a rest at half-time. And if not, it'll have to be Harbo at the hour mark. But for now, the plan is to get through this unscathed and try and get everyone off for the weekend. Let's submit the team. We're 7-0 up on aggregate. Surely, even if we're awful, we can't throw this one away. Let's go and see. Well, our Hungarian hosts come into this with a number of real players and a good back three system, but it was awful in the first leg. They tried to be too aggressive and it caught them out. So let's tell the lads to forget this one, get focused, which most of them have done. And for a few of these young players, this is a great chance to play on a really high stage. Let's see if they can deliver and stake their claim, because the more first team standard players we've got, the better for the future of Viborg. Connors Key 1-0 down the Welsh side at Sheriff already, as Cannell's got a free kick to the back post. Carlson's up, can't win it. Rothman picks it up on the left-hand side though, keeps possession for us. Cuts in, he's got acres of space, goes alone. Brilliant move. Oh, what a goal. Churchin Rothman all alone. Brilliant solo goal. And it's 1-0, 8-0 on aggregate. Luca Cannell, you can have a rest already, mate. As Behrens has got the goal kick, or a free kick I should say, on the edge of his box, to Jurchin Rothman, up to Luca Cannell, who's in one-on-one, and he scored his first goal for the club. It was a worthwhile start after all. I might even just take him off at the half-hour mark, because that holding midfielder can come on now. It does us no damage. So we'll do long enough that he won't have a strop, and then Cannell will come off and have a breather, because the weekend is now more important, and with 25 gone, this is easy. It has been the easiest tie you could have imagined. So we're going to see out this highlight. I will then take Cannell off, as Gelios has the free kick, long downfield. Good header away from Jacobson. Picked up by Wingo, through ball to Rolls. He's one-on-one, beats his man and scores. Have I got too excited there? Jack Rolls has scored the goal, a player we'll be seeing a lot of next year. But for now, he halves the deficit on the night. Still 9-1 on aggregate. I think we might be alright. Luca Cannell's looking tired. Let's do it. We're 9-1 up. I'm going to take him off for Andreas Nielsen, and we'll put Winther into centre midfield. No idea which way round they're better, the way we already had them. So let's see how they get on. And at half time, it's 9-1 on aggregate. It's a brilliant performance. It's an easy night. And to be honest, with the rest of the bench first teamers, I probably won't make many changes now. Let's tell the lads to keep it up, get into the second half. And hopefully, it'll be without incident. Well, as we're back approaching the hour mark, I'm just keeping an eye on fitness because there's a few players. I'm looking at the likes of Schroeder and Rothman as examples that might feature a bit at the weekend. Park, of course, we've got to look at. He's coming back from injury. So though I'm not going to make subs early, if the last 15 we can just rest a couple, then great. Maybe Burr and Park thinking physically, because they're both two that have been injured. So that's what we're going to look for in a moment. But for now, it's an easy night. Ferencvaros are dominating the stats. They are creating chances, and they're almost level there as it's cleared off the line. 10 shots on target, 16 in total, but they can't take advantage. As they pick it up here at centre-half, we will make our changes in a minute. Rothman struggling physically too. I'm not going to worry about that. As it's picked up in defence, goes long over the top to Jones. He's in one-on-one. Which Jones is that? Zion Jones makes it 2-2 on the night. And fair play to them. They've got themselves a result. It's not going to impact the tie at all. So let's just make our last 2 changes. I'm going to bring David Palmer on for Joachim Rothman. And in fact, no, I'm not. I'm not going to bring him on for Rothman. I'm going to bring him on for Park. And then we'll put Blaham through the middle up front. And then we'll take off Oscar Burt, who's had injury problems. And we'll replace him with either Messick or Anyembi. I'm going to bring on Messick. Bit more defensive-minded. Schroeder to the right. And Messick over to the left. Job done. 2-2 on the night. And with 15 to go, we know we're through. Happy days. Tell you what, I've just had a look at the 2 Ferencvaros goal scorers. If Jack Rolls is that good in FM23, I'm going to be very happy as they hit the woodwork and it goes over. They must have a few big weak links in their team, or their setup away must have just been awful. They've been the better side tonight. They deserve to win. They got a draw, but they were so different in the first tie. They were awful travellers when they came to Denmark, and as a result, it's a safe passage through. Now let's go and see who we face in a playoff and what competition we're likely to be in. Well then, can I first say Connors Quay have made it to the final playoff round. They beat Sheriff Tiraspol on penalties. That's annoying from where we were with Bangor City last year. But we have drawn St Gallen of Switzerland in the playoff round. Now on paper, that sounds like a pretty even tie to me. Let's see what a sort of nick they're in. They've got a captain Lucas Gortler who, German and very good, $9,000 a week. Maybe this isn't so even. Let's see how many real players they've got. A whole squad bar 2. And are there any familiar names in there? Mustafa Bundu I've heard of. Okay player, not the best technician in the world. Very, very technical midfield of Spanish and German players. Victor Ruiz, a very good one on the ball. Quintilla the same, but it's an ageing side. I know there's a few in their 20s, but generally speaking, it's an older side. The right wing back's out injured. The left wing back's out suspended for the first leg. And although they've got subs that are of decent quality, Randall Leo being one of them, it is a side that I feel we can beat at our best. But either way, it doesn't matter now. We're going to be in the Europa Conference group stages at the very worst. And that is something we're going to massively enjoy. So let's have a look at the schedule for when we're going to be back. I think you know what it's going to be. I might even show both legs of the playoff and play the game in between off camera. Because it's so important for us to see which competition we're in and the extra money that the Europa League brings with it. So we're going to be back for 2 of or all 3 of those games, including the playoff. If you did enjoy this one, a comfortable draw away in Hungary and a big win against Brondby, and please do chuck a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments what you think of our performances, the new lad that's coming in January, and the squad that we've got to cope with this season. Do you think we're going to struggle when we get to the group stages, or are we going to be able to cope with youngsters in the league? Subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on if you want to find out and stay up to date with the content. You can find links in the eye above to all the other key playlists, including yesterday's monumental moment with Hemel Hempstead Town. Could we win the Champions League final, or are we going to fall at the final hurdle? There's links to Twitch up there too, and all the other platforms in the description below. You can support the show as a channel member or via the Patreon. Again, all the links in the description. But above my head now is yesterday's Hemel video, a must watch. Please do go and enjoy it. And I'll see you back here in a couple of days' time for the Europa League playoff against St Gallen of Switzerland. I'll see you there.